Right. So the question is how rigging works in Blender. And for that purpose, I'm going to make a simple human arm, and I'm going to also do some shortcuts and not make all the fingers even. So I'm going to share the screen now. And there are several ways of rigging, and you're going to those of you who are going to the Games Academy, you will have, like, I think there's a whole course on rigging a human character. Well, not maybe half a whole course, but half a course. And but we are going to do some like quick and dirty rigging, so to say. So that you get to know what it's all about. Okay, so let's see. Boom. Let's have, yeah, the charcoal pencil. Yeah, why not? And maybe black. So what do I have in mind? Is something like an arm like this. So just an arm, nothing more, that has a sort of a mitten or maybe glove on. There are these interesting bikers or bicycle mittens these days that are also used in skiing, I think, where there is this kind of that you have the like space for one or two fingers in the here, and then you have the rest is a mitten. So that's kind of my plan. Also, that's what I'd like to buy at some point if they weren't that expensive. So it's going to have like a couple of points where it's going to be. So I need to have a couple of bones here, I guess, at the wrist. I mean, I'm going to put bones coming out from here and here. So basically from the places where it's going to bend. And then here's going to be another bone for the actual bending of the wrist. Because in real life, if we think about our anatomy, then we have a lot of small bones in our wrist area. So basically, it's the remnants of the fish fin originally, but that has been milled together in weird ways. And also if you think about the like arm, there are some interesting bone movements there, but I'm also going to simplify them. So I'm not going to have like more than this amount of bones. So it's going to be like a jacket or something that he or she is wearing. So that's my plan. So let's get into Blender and see how it goes. Okay, so I think I'm going to actually use this basic box for my arm. And yeah, why is this task so that you're supposed to make an arm and not just like a pipe or something? Well, it's because I want you to get to do all kinds of modeling tasks during this course. So in other words, I want to give you challenges so that, because by doing things, people usually learn best. At least that's true for me, and I don't see why it shouldn't be true for you. Okay, so first I'm making the bake shape here in object mode. And then I think I'm going to make a little bit more shape in edit mode and make the actual hand. Oh, and by the way, should it be a little bit flat? I mean, the arm is flat from the under the elbow, but then it's more roundish here in the area between the shoulder and the elbow. What's it called in English? Like in Finnish, it's olkavarsi. But what's the name in English? Give it to me. So this part of the arm, what's it called in English?
I know that there's the bicep. It's not the whole place, it's like close to them.
Yeah, I know, but the biceps is just like one of the muscles. Forearm?
Upper arm or something?
Yeah, could be.
Something like that, I guess.
Okay, doesn't matter. I think you know what I mean. So, okay, let's start putting more geometry here, and I think I'm going to start with making the loop cuts by clicking Control and R. So first loop cut goes, I think, here, and I think I need 2 of them at least at the elbow area or more. So let's make a second one right away and move it over here. And I think I'll need a third one as well. Okay, and then with I'll go to edge select, and by alt clicking, I can then select one edge at a time, and click S for making it smaller, the whole edge loop, I mean. And I think I'll make this part now flatter, which goes like the forearm part. Let's get the transform tool. Yeah, and I think this one should be also a bit flatter in shape. So I'm making the big shapes first again.
What was the hotkey for like the search for commands thing? Like the two sphere thing?
Search for commands?
Yeah, that we used in the other teachers class. It was like that. There was like a two sphere command.
So usually if I need it, then I make it so that the space bar is like I just press the space bar. And that's it. Okay, the to sphere command, I think you should find it over mesh anyway. Okay, also what I'm going to do, maybe already in this point, I will give it a multi-resolution modifier so that I can see how it would look like with bigger resolution. And because I'm going to need the geometry later on anyway, when I'm making the rigging. And also I'm going to shade it smooth. Okay, so this shows me that I need to put even more shape here in the geometry if I want to have some sort of yeah, I think I'm happy enough with that. Maybe, or maybe not. Yeah, looks better.
I'm sorry, but the multi-resolution won't let me increase the level viewport.
Sorry?
The multi-resolution modifier doesn't let me increase the level part or sculpt or render.
Did you click the subdivide?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's where you get it. It's
Yeah.
not very like self-evident. So they should really make this button like green or something, but that's not the style of Blender to be too easy on anything. Anyway, I will, yes, you have.
I have the same problem, but I'm not able to even press that button.
Okay, are you in edit mode or object mode? Yeah, so you can't do anything with modifiers while you're in edit mode, so go in object mode. Does it work now? Good. So that's also like a simple mistake, which I also do a lot still, although I know it perfectly well. Anyway, I don't think Maya has something like that. It has something similar to modifiers than Blender has, but I don't think it has. I mean, Maya doesn't have like a distinction between edit mode and object mode anyway. So just for those of you who would like to try out some other 3D modeling program at some point, then Maya might be a nice place to go, because it's also a sort of industry standard for those people who can afford it. So if you want to find a job somewhere, then it's always nice to say that, okay, you also can do something in Maya. But once you know Blender, then it's really easy to learn Maya, because the basic stuff that you do is the same in both. At least that's my experience. Okay, so let's make the mitten happen. So I need to start extruding. Okay, E for extrusion, of course. And then I'll make it bigger right away. And move it so that it's more mitten like there's a hard difference. So if I were wise, then I would probably also put it a little bit backwards, but let's keep it here for now. And so extrude. And scale. Then another extrusion for the hand itself. And I need to have like a space for where I put the thumb, and I think that's here. So it's going to be over here, this space. Watch this space. And at this point, it needs to be a lot smaller, or maybe not yet. Should I go back one step, maybe? So I make it narrower at this point. And then I'll extrude the thumb space. And extrude again. And this space shouldn't be too big. Maybe this is enough. And we probably need to change these still. Oh. Let's make the thumb space even bigger, because our thumbs do take like half of the hand, or almost. And then I think I need some more loop cuts in order to make the fingers and the happen. But maybe I'll first make the thumb happen. So I'll extrude that one. So obviously it's not the right shape yet. So as you might notice, I'm doing this very much with instinct. So as everybody does, I do watch a lot of tutorials, but for this one, I decided just to see where this will take me. Because that's also a good exercise to figure things out on your own. Okay, and for now, I'm kind of happy with the thumb. Well, not in the object space. I think the thumb needs to be bigger. Okay, then I'll make the loop cuts for the fingers. And how many do I need? I think I need 2 loop cuts here, because I want some space between the mitten fingers, or the finger spaces. So here's going to be the first extrusion. Then I need another loop cut. That's the space between the fingers. And I think that's enough, yes. And then I can extrude them. Scale them. And the other extrusion. Scale a bit. And make them flatter. And I think I will need a little bit more shape here in this section as well. So I might make a new loop cut for that. Yeah, it still needs work, clearly. Yeah, that's a bit better. But let's make this still bigger. Resize it. Yeah, starting to look a little bit better. And now for the thumb. So also need the edge here bigger. Also, I could just try out shade auto smooth so that not all the not everything here will be automatically smooth. For instance, where I want to have some sharp edges. Okay, but the thumb to make it look less ridiculous. Oh, by the way, if you like, usually there's the select modes are just for one selection at a time. There's vertex select, edge select, and then face select. But with using the shift key, you can have all the selection modes or just two of them on at all times. Sometimes it's practical to have them on, sometimes it's really not very practical. So you have to see which selection modes you're using at each time. So right now I use the shift key and selected all the selection modes at once. And I go back and forth in the edit mode and the object mode to check on what I'm actually doing here, and where should I move my faces, and vertices and so on. Okay, now the thumb starts looking a little bit better. Now I need to have the mitten also sharper, bigger. And maybe I need one more loop cut here in the wrist area. And soon I'm going to come and see what everybody else is doing here in the classroom. Okay, I can show it. So Control and R.
No, just like on the model. Where you said you're gonna add a loop cut.
Yeah, I'm going to add one here in the wrist, or no, here. So I'm going over here. Yeah, it looks better that way.
Can I ask?
Yep, I can come. So I'm almost done with mine. So I try to keep the details on a low level. Okay, let's see how people are doing here.
Yeah, wrote them all. I don't know, maybe you can go back to the, come on and see, to the place where. Okay. Of course, So this is the fine for the. Okay, I think there was some sort of bug in the motor. Your model is fine. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Okay, and remember to save all different versions. Very true. Okay, thank you. Okay, and you may file this, right? And I think whoever copy and it is. Yeah. Mä olen asioiden. Siis se ei lakkaan se vaan. Joo, se todennäköisesti mun kannattaa se ei lakkaan. Joo, mä tiedätkö miten tiedän se Forsgren? En mä tiedä, kuinka se mä luulen, että tarvii mä en tiedä kyllä tarvii reach for this. Joo, ei. It needs a little bit more, space. Yeah, those are usually in the middle. Just make it longer. Two screens, keep it very efficient. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the shoulder longer because this piece is too short for me. Also I need to make it make this part bigger so that I can really to do on here. Yeah, it's a little bit short. Compared to this. More, yeah, good. More longer. Yeah, longer. Okay. Okay, I need to make my arm longer, by the way. Now that I'm looking at it, it's far too short. The arm part. Summer. Mikähän ei estä tekemästä kiitosormeja, koska mulla oli vähän kiire ton kanssa. Lyhyen. Okay, what do you say? Should we take a short break before we get into the actual rigging? So first I'm going to make the, as I'm looking at it, the this part of the arm looks very much shorter, so I need to make it either shorten this part or make this part longer. So I think I'll do the ladder. So I'll just pull these longer. So the next thing I need is more geometry in general. Gesundheit. Okay. Yeah, it could be better. Maybe in the multi-res, I don't need so much resolution, but maybe one step is enough. Nah, I think 2 is better. Yeah.
Okay, it isn't perfect, but what is in this world? So let's pull the thumb out a little bit more. And also maybe make it wider. I mean, these are details where you can just spend a lot of time. So and I have this tendency to sometimes do that, spend a lot of time on these. So I'm trying to not let myself do it now. Right. Okay, so now I'm slowly becoming a little bit more happy with this. Maybe if I made one more loop cut here to get a little bit more inside of the mitten, that might work better. Let's try it out. So I'll pull this inside. No, first I need to have the edge of the mitten, and then I make one more loop cut inside it. There we go. And just pull this inside. Yeah, that did the trick. I'm definitely more happy with this now. So what I did was I made a bit more geometry here inside the mitten so that there's like a visible edge now for it.
Can you show it once?
Ooh, well, I'm recording this, so you can watch it later again. But yeah, the thing is that now that I got it to work, I'm not so willing to go backwards. But I can do that. I'll just save this. Find one. Okay, and then let's go back. Zoom, 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 zoom. So yeah, this is where I started with. I made a first loop cut over here, and then I clicked S to make it bigger. So that would be the edge of the of my mitten, and then, or the inner edge of the mitten. Then I made another loop cut again with Control R, like this. And this one I just clicked into, so I pulled it in to make it look like there is some stuff happening. So maybe it's even better to do it like this. Let's see. Yeah, so that's how I did it. And the second time went even better than the first. Maybe. Okay, let's have a 10 minutes break and continue at 1:15, and I'll pause the sharing for now and pause the recording. So let's get into the rigging part now, and I'll share my screen again. As I said, I want to make like a really easy rig here, just a couple of bones. So rigging means that you need to have these bones that you and the bones will make the make the mesh bend once you parent the mesh to the bones. That's the like basic thing in rigging, which you need to know. And bones are added. You have to be in object mode and don't have anything else selected when you add the first bone. So you add it with a Shift A or from the Add menu, and you go into Armature. And then just click on Add an Armature object to the scene, and that should do it then. Get your first bone. Oh, and by the way, the add-on for the other armature objects is not on here, so I need to set that at some point, because there's also an add-on for a whole human armature. So if you have a humanoid character, then you can just use that one. And there are a couple of other ones, like the dog, and I think there was a chicken and a fish. Maybe not a fish. Anyway, there's the first bone, and now it's in the wrong direction. It's going from up to down. Although I could, of course, move my arm also in a vertical direction. Oh, yeah, which one should I do? Problems. Okay, so I think it doesn't really matter, but I'll move the arm now for 90 degrees. And to make it more specific, change it from here, and also I can press the object here and see that it's all okay there, rotation 90 degrees. So let's keep it like that. And now you notice that the bone that I created doesn't is not visible at all. So what can I do about that? There are a couple of things. Also, you notice that it has created an object called armature here. Oh, and I'll change the name of the arm to arm. And because I'm paranoid, I'll make a duplicate of the arm by Shift D. Okay, let's put it over there for all cases. Okay, so I need to see the bone in order to make it put the bones inside the arm, and then after that I need to rig it. But first, to see the bone, so first let's click on it, and then there are things called visibility here and viewport display. So let's go see here. There's something, for instance, something called in front. So here, now I'm in the object place. I can also find it here on bone, but yeah, object is best. So if I click in front, now I can see the bone, see it over there. So whatever I have, so wherever the bone is inside whichever object, I can now always see it. And of course, I can click this away again if I don't want to see the bone. So first of all, my bone is far too small, and also it's in the wrong place. I wanted to start from the where the arm is starting. So first of all, let's take a different view of things. It could be, I could take the wireframe view for one. That way I could have seen the bone anyway, without the in front thingy. So let's stay in solid mode, but I'll go and I'll have the, well, not the front view. You have to see which one is the right one here. Left. Right. Okay. I think I keep this one. And now I see also that my arm is a little bit, it's not quite straight. So I'm thinking, should I move this part a little bit to the left before I start making the bones? Probably I should. So this is a good. So I'll go to wireframe mode and click on the object or the arm, make it into edit mode. And then I need to select this. So I went to wireframe mode in order to be able to select everything also in the back. Otherwise, this wouldn't have worked quite as nicely. Okay. Now it's more straight. So this was just a mistake that I had to correct. Anything else? So let's get away from object mode, away from the wireframe mode. But I'll stay in this view still. Solid mode, and now back to the armature. Okay, as I said earlier, the bone is too small and it starts from the wrong place, so I'll move it at first. The reason I'm doing this here in the side view is also that when I extrude new bones, then they won't go like in every direction, but they will stay in the like a z-axis and won't go around in the x or y axis without my knowing it. Okay, I need one place over there. So I could have done this also in edit mode, and I think I'll better do it there. So I'll just grab the end of the bone here. You might notice that you can grab any part of the bone. There are like 3 parts that you can grab, and then I just need the move tools. I'll just do it like this. Okay, so now you can see that there will be the elbow joint, and I'm keen to keep the bones inside the arm and hand at all times. And how to make a new bone? You just extrude a new one from the end of the bone that you want. So E for extrude, and then sorry, E, and then I make like enter, and then I can just pull this out. And where do I need my wrist? I told you that I needed 2 wrist, 2 places for the wrist. I'll just move this a little bit more into the middle. So maybe here would be the first place for where the wrists will be actually bending. And then I need a new bone, E, and enter. And then from here on, I will take out the fingers. I mean, that's how a human hand is constructed, that the fingers start right away here from the wrist, actually. So you can also feel it with. Okay, now I'll just extrude freely and go and make the thumb. So I want to have like one place where the thumb will will be bending. So I'll extrude once more. So this is quite simple, really. The more difficult part is to get these bones to follow all the places where you want. And that's why there is this, why there are so many lessons and lectures on rigging in the Games Academy. But we are going to use something called automatic rigging. There we go. And now I have to check that all my bones are inside the arm. So I need to get away from this view. And they are not, as you can clearly see, or fairly clearly, I think. So I need to move them. Let's go to the side view. Also here I need to move this bone. So it is quite important to get the bones inside the arm and the parts of the arm. And you can check it also by clicking the in front viewport display away.
I somehow lost the grid in my file,
The what?
like the coordinates.
Interesting.
It was here when I left.
Ooh. Okay, I'll come and see. That sounds interesting. And also worrying.
Okay, jos sanot edit mode, niin myös
Mä oon sulintanut koneen. Tai siis niin.
No yksi tapaus tietysti, että sä tallennat tai jos sitten alkaisi kuuntelemaan.
Mä tein sen just sen.
Okei. Tai sitten alkaisi ensin niin kuin, ton yleisen failin sieltä, missä on se perus. Joo. Siis noitahan voi myös kopioida, että sä olet esimerkiksi kopioida sen sitten nyt en osaa sanoa, mitä tässä on tapahtunut, mutta sitten on se niin kuin, nopea ratkaisu siinä.
Joo. Mä vedän se sinne tänne.
Joo, siinä on todennäköisesti joku niin kuin katsomismoodi päällä.
Joo. Eikö se ole append?
Ei, kun ihan vaan copy. Siis komento C.
Okei.
Ja sitten komento V. Kyllä se appendkin toimii, mutta simppelimpi on tässä tapauksessa se copy paste. Okay, let's continue. And I will check out the in front function and see if all the bones are inside the fingers. And no, they are not. Of course they aren't. So let's move this one inside the thumb, like a nice finger should be, like a nice finger bone at least. I wouldn't like the situation where my finger bones were outside the skin of my fingers. I wouldn't like that at all. So you also might want to check that the bones are as much in the middle of the mesh as possible. From all sides. So I think this also needs some work here. Yes, I'm coming.
Should the palm have only like one armature, or should like the finger armature start from the wrist?
Well, I made a small bone here in the middle, as you can see, so that I didn't start the finger armature right away.
Okay.
I actually tried to have tried that earlier, and it didn't work very well. And also, if you think about the actual anatomy of a human wrist, there are lots of small bones there from which the fingers then extend.
Okay.
And then the like actual turning of the wrist is done by the other small bones there. So that's what this is trying to emulate in a very simplified manner. Okay, and at this point, yeah, I want to point out that I also made the copy of the arm in case things go wrong. So what I actually want is, first, I want to get more geometry for my arm before I parent it to the bones. Because the thing is, the bones will only work if you have geometry in your mesh. I mean, right now, the geometry actually looks like this. And if I would now rig the or parent the arm mesh to the armature, it would not work because it can't bend because there is no geometry to bend. So that's why I made took the modifiers, and that's why I'm going now to apply the modifiers to get that actual geometry. So you remember, I hope, how to apply the modifier. There's the multi-res, so I'm just going to click here on this button and then click A for apply. And what else? Yes, you have to be in object mode and have the mesh of the arm selected rather than the armature. And now when I go to edit mode, now I can see that there is a lot more geometry. By the way, at this point, it might be a nice thing also to do the like UV mapping, but I'm skipping that part now. But you can do the UV mapping also later after the rigging. But however, you cannot easily change the mesh after the rigging process. So the mesh should be as ready as possible when you put the bones into it, because there will be strange things happening if you change the mesh later on. Sometimes it's okay, but often it isn't. Okay, so now I have named my objects here. Well, the armature is called armature and the arm is called arm. And now it's time for the actual parenting, or how to make how to attach the mesh to the bones. And I usually always do a mistake here, and so let's see. I tend to forget which one I need to click first. So let's click the mesh first and then the armature, and let's see how that will work out. So then I right click and go to parent, and I go to armature deform with automatic weights. And it was the right way around the first time. Great. Usually I do it the wrong way around. Woohoo.
So arm.
What did you do? Can you show again?
Arm first. So first you click on the arm, then you click on the armature. And then if you have done it right, then your arm, the mesh should be inside the armature like this. So this is how it should look like if you have done it right. If you, however, have the name of the mesh first and then the armature is inside it, then you have made a mistake. And then you go back a few steps and do it again.
When I go to pose mode, the armature moves, but the hand doesn't.
Okay, then there's some sort of mistake that has happened. Yeah, that's the next step, that you test if the armature, did you make it with automatic weights, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you show again? So you choose both of them and then what did
I
you
can
do?
show it again. So I started from this. So I first selected the mesh, the arm. Then I shift selected the armature or the bones. Then I right-clicked, went to parent, armature deform with automatic weights. There's also the envelope weights, but we are not going to do that right now. Okay, automatic weights, and this is how it should look like then, that it would look like that your arm has disappeared, but it hasn't. It's here inside the armature. Okay, and now I'm going to click on the armature and try out the pose mode, which is now there under the edit mode. And I want to take the rotation tool and see if everything rotates like it should. Okay, let's take this bone and rotate it. And yeah, at least here things happen like I want them to happen. Let's see if this bone rotates the hand. Yes, it does. It might look a little bit weird, and that's because we have used the automatic parenting with the more sophisticated way of rigging. It looks better. Also now I'm testing the finger bones, how that goes. That is the most crucial place, by the way, where most of the sad accidents can happen. Okay, but it seems to work out fine. Great. Okay, and now I'm going to stop the recording for now and do some see around here in the classroom who has problems and who hasn't. Okay, stop share and stop the recording for now.